Thinking about studying in the UK? It's an amazing opportunity. But let's face it, living costs can be quite a challenge, especially as an international student. But don't you worry, I'm going to cover student life, a detailed breakdown on expenses, and how to earn while you're studying, and of course, practical budgeting tips. If you're new, I'm Ashika, and I talk about moving across the world to work or study, and with that, let's dive in. Life as an international student in the UK is an exciting journey. You'll experience a new culture, meet people from all over the world, and adjust to the unique British way of life. From learning cultural British slang to embracing tea breaks, the cultural experience is vibrant. But it's also about adapting to differences like food, weather, and the academic system, which focuses heavily on independent learning. When it comes to the academic life, be prepared for a mix of lectures, group projects, and self-study. UK universities emphasize on critical thinking and research. When it comes to your social life, you'll have access to student societies, sports clubs, and events, making it easy to build friendships and expand your network. Homesickness and budgeting are common challenges, but connecting with other international students and staying organized can make a huge difference. Let's move on to the financial side of things, the monthly costs you need to plan for. Now, let's break down the costs you can expect as an international student in the UK. Now, accommodation will account for a huge chunk. If you decide to stay on campus, no, let me say it right. If you're lucky enough to get accommodation on campus, it will cost you anywhere from £500 to £1,200 a month. And of course, that varies by city and the type of room. However, don't be too stressed because there are tons of off-campus housing as well, which range from £350 to £800 a month. While that might seem expensive, there are other options like Amber that you can consider, which are considerably less expensive and have properties across the UK, especially close to universities. They've also got options for you to do your laundry. Many have gyms and common rooms. And the best part, they've got a lowest price guarantee and verified bookings, so you don't get a room that looks different from what you've been shown. And 24/7 assistance in case you need any help. And you have the option of sharing a room or taking one for yourself. Now, if you'd like more details, head over to the description where I've got a link for you which will get you access to exclusive offers. A pro tip, if you consider staying just outside big cities, it will save you a ton of money in terms of rent. Moving on to utilities. In terms of utilities, there's electricity, gas and water, which is about £40 to £70 a month, and that's not included in your rent. And of course, there's internet costs, which is about £20 to £40 a month. Coming to food and groceries, groceries should cost you about £150 to £250 a month. If you're eating out, budget a minimum of £10 to £20 per meal. But remember, shopping at budget-friendly stores like Lidl and Aldi can help reduce costs drastically. When it comes to transport, if you live in London, budget for £120 to £150 a month with an Oyster card. If you live outside London, bus and train passes are around £50 to £100 a month. And unlike many other countries, walking and cycling are both extremely safe. Some cities even have cycling paths exclusively for bikes. You'll also need to budget for books and supplies, which is around £30 to £50 a month. Remember to check out libraries or second-hand bookstores to save on textbooks. Remember to also set aside money for mobile plans, which is about £15 to £30 a month. Consider budget brands like JifChaff, Voxy and Smarty to save more. And of course, you'll also want to spend some time exploring the UK and with your friends as well. So remember to set aside at least £50 to £100 a month. Also consider free options like museums, parks and student events to save. And then you will have miscellaneous expenses, which are like personal care, laundry, emergencies, for which you should set aside at least £50 to £100 every month. Do remember, healthcare is free if you go through any of the government hospitals, so you don't have to pay for that. But you will have to pay for any medicines that you would require. On an average, your monthly budget will range between £900 to £1,500 depending on your location and lifestyle. Now, let's talk about earning while you study. While studying, you can supplement your budget by working part-time. And unlike a lot of countries, it's very common for students to work in the UK. In fact, most students are encouraged for multiple reasons: to get work experience, to get used to the work-life balance, the work structure, and also to make money. Now, when it comes to jobs, here's what you need to know. There are on-campus roles like library assistants, student ambassadors. There are also off-campus roles like retail assistants, cashiers, sales assistants, or there's hospitality roles like waiters, baristas. You could also be a research assistant or a tutor. The average hourly pay is around £10 to £15 an hour. Of course, it could be a lot more as well. So keep your options open while looking. And of course, there are scholarships and stipends. There are tons of scholarships offered across the UK by different universities which provide additional funding and different types of funding. Some universities also offer bursaries specifically for living expenses. But something for you to keep in mind is that there are work restrictions for international students. During term time, you're allowed to work 20 hours per week, but of course, you're allowed to work full-time during holidays. But please remember, always prioritize your studies and ensure your work aligns with your visa regulations. Because there have been instances in the past where people have been flagged off for doing jobs that they're not allowed to do in the UK. Now, let's talk about how you can make your money stretch further with smart budgeting. First off, set a monthly budget. Use the 50-30-20 rule. 50% on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings. Next, it's a very good idea for you to track your spending. Monitor your expenses weekly to identify where you can cut back and where you're overspending. You also use budgeting apps like Emma. They link to your account, they track your spending, and they categorize your expenses. There's also Money Dashboard that helps set saving goals and visualize cash flow. And keep an emergency fund. Save a small amount of money every month for unexpected costs. Budgeting might feel tedious at first, but it's worth it for the peace of mind and financial security that you will experience afterwards. Finally, here are my top tips to save money as an international student. Share housing with your friends if you can to split rent and bills. When it comes to food, cook meals at home instead of eating out. We have a very big eating out culture in India, especially in the big cities. If you come from a big city, it'll take some getting used to be very honest. I'm still getting used to it because I love ordering from out, but it helps save quite a bit if you're cooking inside. Also, remember to buy in bulk and meal prep for the week. It really helps save, both in terms of money instead of ordering out and in terms of actually utilizing the groceries in your fridge. Walk or cycle for short distances. And get a 16 and 25 rail card for discounted train travel. When it comes to study materials, use university libraries or get secondhand books like we discussed. And remember to check online for a ton of free resources. When it comes to discounts, use apps like Unidays and Student Beans for discounts on shopping, dining, and travel. And the best part about being a student in the UK, there are tons of freebies if you know where to look. A lot of brands offer free food, like you get free sandwiches, free donuts. You just should know where to look. In terms of entertainment, explore free museums, parks, and university-hosted events actually instead of paying for ticketed events. Every small saving adds up, so be mindful of your spending and take advantage of student perks. Living as an international student in the UK is a rewarding experience. I hope this video has helped and given you clarity and confidence on how to plan your budget for when you live in the UK. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions. Thank you for watching and see you next time.